Why you always in the mood? Mess around acting brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything looks better with a view.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? I hope you're always good, healthy, and happy. And the Honorable Mrs. Susan Febrianti, SPD MPD, as a lecturer in Business English 2 course. Before that, I will introduce the member of Group 2. I'm Ravena Karisa, and there is my friends Anis Husna Safira, Raihan Sani, and Rizky Baringbing. Okay, now on this video learning, we will discuss material about small talk in workplace. Before we discuss the material about small talk in the workplace, we will show a little video discussing related to small talk. Okay, you can listen the video. Let's get started on the video.
This video is sponsored in part by CuriosityStream. Imagine you arrive at a party, but your friends are nowhere to be seen. So you have two options. The obvious one of staring mindlessly at your phone, or the terrifying one of talking to strangers. Even if you want to reach out, you might worry, what if they don't like me? What if I come across as awkward? What do I even say to them? Never fear, recent research suggests that new acquaintances actually like you more than you think, and that talking to strangers can lead to a boost in happiness. But it can be hard to get started. Luckily, there are some psychological tips you can use to master small talk. I'm Vanessa, and you're watching Braincraft, where we explore the psychology in your everyday life. First, you've probably experienced the liking gap. In a recent study, researchers paired up two strangers to have a conversation. They asked each person to rate how much they liked their partner and how much they thought their partner liked them. People consistently underestimated how much people liked them and enjoyed their company. Researchers called this the liking gap. So try not to worry about what people think. They probably like you more than you realise. Though you may still be wondering, how do you actually make small talk? Well, start by asking more questions. People who ask questions during conversation have been rated as more likeable. Questions like, what do you do? Can be pretty dull. Instead, try to get to know the other person by asking, what do you do for fun? What's the best thing that's happened to you this year? Or what are you looking forward to? What excites you? And remember that it's important to stay engaged in the conversation. Asking follow-up questions is important. This shows you're actively listening. So if the person mentions that they like traveling, ask where they've been or where they're going next. In a recent speed dating study, those who asked more follow-up questions were more likely to get a second date. And give people your full attention. Your actions matter too. Studies have shown that people who texted during a conversation were seen as less polite and attentive. So put your phone away. Now, you still might think that making small talk is about as much fun as swimming with sharks, but it can actually have a lot of benefits for your professional and personal life. For example, experts estimate that 3 out of 4 jobs are found through professional networking rather than a job ad. And small talk can actually increase your sense of belonging. Research has found that people report feeling happier when they chat with someone like a bartender or barista and treated them more like an acquaintance than a stranger. Even though you may think chatting to strangers is unpleasant, people report liking it more than they expected. Just like any other skill, you can improve your small talk if you work at it. Casual interactions can be really positive experiences. So with some practice and these tips, you can enjoy the big benefits of small talk.
Okay, after watching the video, you already understand the basic of small talk. The first material about theory of the small talk. Small talk is a conversation for its own sake. This small talk phenomenon was initiated and studied in 1920 by Bronislaw Malinowski, who coined the term fatigue communication. To describe it, the ability to have small talk in a social skill. Therefore, small talk is a part of social communication. The publication states that job titles that have a network are suitable for social communication. And the next, what is small talk? Small talk is an informal type of conversation that covers many topics before entering into the in-depth conversation or transaction. The ability to carry out small conversation is a social skill. Communicating is a human need as a social being to be able to socialize with other people. And communication with other people is very important in life. One of our goals in communication with other people is so that we can get to know other people. And when we need help, we will be helped by others. One of them is when we are already working, so we need to interaction with all our coworkers. The coworkers we meet must have various different characters. Of course, we have to be good at adapting. This will make it easier for us to carry out our duties and responsibilities at work. To make it easier for us to adapt, we need to build initial chemistry between coworkers and small talk in the workplace. Small talk is important because the ritual process in small talk builds social relationships and a strategy to manage interpersonal distance. Conversation about things that are not important, often between people who do not know each other well. The next function of the small talk. Small talk has a function in helping personality to determine the relation between friends, coworkers, and acquaintances. So small talk in the workplace is to build chemistry between coworkers by discuss light conversation with topic related to fun things. Although it might seem of little use, small talk is a ritual process in building social relationship and a strategy for managing interpersonal distance. Small talk is closely related to people need to keep a positive faith in order to feel accepted by those who are listening to them. This streamlines social interaction in a very flexible way, depends on the point of conversation at which small talk takes place. Okay, the next material can be read by Vira.
Okay, thank you, Ravena. The next is the purpose of small talk. In general, the purpose of small talk is to help get to know new people in exploring and classifying the right social positions with one another. In spite of seeming to have little useful purpose, small talk is a bonding ritual and a strategy for managing interpersonal distance. It serves many functions in helping to define the relationship between friends, colleagues, and new acquaintances. In particular, it helps new acquaintances to explore and categorize each other's social position. Small talk is closely related to the need for people to maintain a positive face and feel approved of by those who are listening to them. It lubricates social interactions in a very flexible way, but the desired function is often depending on the point in the conversation at which the small talk occurs. Other small talk functions, among others, the first is open a conversation. When the interlocutors don't know each other at all, this allows them to show that they have friendly intentions and want some kind of positive interaction. In a business meeting, it allows people to build on each other's reputation and level of expertise. When there is already a connection between two speakers, this small talk serves as a light introduction before they get involved in a more functional topic of conversation. This allows them to delve their moods and can sense the moods of others. The second is at the end of the conversation. Suddenly ending an exchange can run the risk of suggesting that they reject the other person. Small talk can be used to reduce the resistance, especially to emphasize the relationship between two people and ease the breakup. And the last is fill the void to avoid silence. In many cultures, silence between two people is usually considered uncomfortable. The tension can be reduced by starting a petty conversation until a larger subject emerges. Generally, humans find prolonged silence uncomfortable and sometimes unbearable. This can happen because of the evolutionary history of humans as social beings, as is the case with many other special animals. Silence is a danger sign in communication. The next. The next is small talk technique. To sound more friendly, here are several ways you can use to compose a series of small talk sentences. You can use short questions, use invitation sentence, use new sentence, and so on. Take a look at the example sentence structure below. We will give an example of a conversation based on the existing situation. I will ask my friend Raven for help, Raven will be Andy, and me will be Tommy. You can also take advantage of small talk by looking at the current place. Small talk based on the situation.
How long have you worked here?
I had no idea how busy you were today.
Has it been a long day?
Let's drink coffee.
What do you think of him? His name here.
And the next is greeting method.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, long time no see. And next, asking methods.
What have you been up to lately?
Well, I just started to work at the bank. The next is invite method.
We should get together for lunch sometime.
Yeah, that would be great.
Guy,
And the next-
Susie is in the hospital now.
What? Really? How could it be? And the next, the material will be reading by Rizky Barindi.
Okay, thank you, Anissa Sapira. Small talk technique. You know, a conversation has reached its natural ending point when your interlocutor. Okay, thank you, Anisusna Sapira. Small talk technique. You know, a conversation has reached its natural ending point when your interlocutor has stopped talking and has started checking his cell phone, books, or looking out the window. Your interlocutor no longer makes eye contact, but stares in another direction, for example, floor. Your interlocutor begins to collect his belongings as if he is getting ready to leave. Your interlocutor makes closing statement, as will be discussed below. Next. 9 ways to get better at small talk. Number 1, demonstrate interest in your conversation partner. Number 2, ask open-ended question. Number 3, allow your conversation partner to teach you. Number 4, read the news. Number 5, be honest. Number 6, copy good conversationalist. Number 7, boost your conversation partner self-esteem. Number 8, ask what keeping you busy this day. Number 9, know the other people feel worth. Next. What is small talk in workplace? In workplace situation, small talk tends to occur mostly among workers of the same rank. The balance between functional conversation and small talk in the workplace depends on the context and is also influenced by the relative strength of the two speakers. It's actually someone with a more superior level of office that defines the direction of the conversation, as they have the power to sit down to small conversation and have the habit of going straight to business. So the next material will be read by Ravena Karisa.
Okay, thank you, Rizky. The next, what is small talk in workplace? Small talk can also be used by manager as a way to develop working relationship with staff by reporting to them. Managers who ask their employees to work overtime may try to motivate staff by using small talk, temporarily reducing difference in status. We will give an example of a conversation. I will ask my friend Vira to help. Vira as a manager and me as an employee.
Okay, Ravena. Good afternoon, Ravena.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Vira. Is there anything I can help you with?
I want to let you know, Ravena, if today we will be working overtime, please be enthusiastic and don't forget to eat and drink.
Okay, ma'am. You are also excited, ma'am. And the next, where to make small talk in workplace. For example, Ravena and Vira pass in the corridor. Morning, Vira.
Hi, Ralph. Nice day.
Yeah, great. For example, pass in the lift. Hey Vira, how is your work today? Are you busy?
Hey, Ravena. Quite a lot just attended the annual meeting. How about your own work?
My work is very fine. Okay, keep spirit. I will go first.
Okay, be careful.
Okay, the next material can be read by Raihan.
Okay, thank you, Ravena. When to make small talk in workplace. One of the best times to make small talk is at networking events, personal meetings, and at work. Many people try to avoid small talk at all costs. But the truth is that small talk is a necessary small talk. We will give an example of a conversation. I will ask my friend Rizky for help.
Hi, are you new employee?
Hello, can I sit here?
Of course, with pleasure. May I know which division are you from?
I'm from the administration division. Which division are you from?
I'm from finance division.
That means our rooms are side by side, right?
That's right. Look like the meeting is about to start. Let's focus first.
The function of small talk. The function of small talk in the workplace is to create a match or chemistry that is created through conversation with fun topics. However, creating chemistry requires considering how many words are exchanged when two people are talking. In addition, we need to pay attention to speed, tone of voice, body language, facial expression, and emotion. We form interpersonal bonds and build non-verbal relationship in many situations with different types of people. If you're trying to build a personal relationship, there may be a number of topics that can break the ice in a conversation. Therefore, to start small talk in the workplace, we also have to understand what small talk is, when, where, how to do small talk in the workplace. Next. Benefit small talk. The first, small talk put us at ease. Indulging in an insignificant exchange with a lonely person can make all the difference to how alone they feel. For example, when a coworker who is alone looks gloomy, we as coworkers can greet him with small talk, because that way can make our friend may feel much better. And in this way, we also build good relationship between co-workers. And the second, small talk can give rise to the most serendipitous of happenings. Let's suppose you have just finished work for the day and you emerge from the building and it's raining. You stand for a moment under cover of the doorway while you look for your umbrella. A man standing next to your marks that it's nice weather for dogs. You assume he is bemoaning the fact that is raining. Where is your favorite kind of weather? And you tell him so. He smiles and admits that it's his favorite too. And you notice smile. Next. There is some expression to asking a question, which is relate about work. Start small talk. Would you like to share your experience working on this project? Would you like to share your experience working with client? What worked well this client? What was worked well in the face of this challenge? How did you handle the job? What has inspired you recently? Can you tell me? What are you watching on YouTube? How do you a conversation with someone at your workplace? Step 1. Briefly say something about yourself. Don't be silent after you shake hands and introduce yourself. Continue by offering something about yourself. It doesn't have to be something revolutionary. Often I'll just comment on what brought me into the situation. I'm here because I'm working on the operation phase of this project. I'm really excited to get started during the meeting. This will help put others at ease because it gives them context for who I am. Step 2. Ask open questions that are fairly easy to answer. Asking the right question means that the other person won't have to work too hard to get involved, but also won't be able to get away with a simple yes or no answer that will stop the conversation. For example, if you're waiting for a meeting to start, you can ask how he or she is involved in a project that's going to be discussed. Step 3. Redirect conversation to recent events. If you feel like your small talk has turned to Q&A, feel free to divert the conversation away from professional topics and talk about what's going on in the world. Of course, the advice to avoid conversation about religion and politics still applies. But if you choose the topic, then you will be able to direct the discussion appropriately. Next. Who makes small talk? Everyone has a different relationship and everyone uses small talk in starting a conversation. The most common type of people to use small talk is those who do not know each other at all. So we often teach children not to talk to strangers. Adults are expected to say at least a few words in certain situations. It's also common for people who are only acquaintance, often called a friend of a friend, to use small talk, or other people who have short casual conversation are office employees who may not be good friends but working in the same department. Customer service representative, waiters, hairdressers, and receptionists often make small talk with customers. If you happen to be outside when the mailman comes to you, do you make make small talk with him too. We will give an example of conversation. I will ask my friend Rizky and Ravena for help to give an example of a conversation.
Okay, Rehan, we can help you. The next, here's an example of a small talk. Hi there.
Hi, I've not seen you around here before. Have you been working long?
No, I've only been here a few months. I work in the human research department.
Oh, you must make more money than I do then. I am in sales.
Sales sound like an interesting job.
It's okay. Hey, you look like you could really have a coffee.
Yes, it's been a really hectic week. Okay, the next material to sense Beckett benefit of making small talk with coworkers. As we broke down daily interaction, we realize our most meaningful interaction are not when we're talking about actual work. It's when we're getting administrative stuff or the friendly gaping before a meeting, said Jessica R. Method of Rugged University and University of Exeter. The research show that even though chit-chat is superficial, it's about building culture and collaboration. Small talk with coworkers in the break room, and pleasantries exchange with office staff are more meaningful than you might think, according to Academy of Management Journal article. Contrary to the perception that small talk, brief, special, or trivial conversation are related to work as inconsequential, research have found that chit-chat contributes to employee positive emotion, promotes well-being, foster good workplace citizenship. Okay, the next material can be read by Rizky.
Okay, thanks Raven. To science Beckett benefit of making small talk with coworkers. Number 1, promoting well-being. To make sure the impact of small talk on the employee well-being, the research method said the choice to study small talk at work because it's so pervasive, but its effects are generally discounted. In fact, a 1994 study found that small talk makes up 1/3 of adult speech. It's a very superficial interaction, but is meaningful. Method side, we don't give it its due. For me, it's about building culture and collaboration. It did not matter if you were an introvert, was average amount of small talk was lower than what it is for an extrovert. Small talk enhance employees' daily positive social emotion and contributed to small employees feeling connected. Method was quick to explain what small talk is not. It is not gossip. It is not long-winded ranting about an ineffective supervisor. Will the research earn that small talk lift employees' emotion. They also found the chit chat disrupted some employees' ability to stay on track with their work. However, employees who possessed a higher level of self-monitoring could effectively designate from small talk to mitigate the distraction. Overall, however, methods said the effect of small talk in the workplace are mostly positive. And the next number will be read by Vira.
The second is building bridge. Rather than choose small talk as a waste of time, managers can embrace small talk as a way to improve coworkers' relationship, team morale, and productivity. Supervisor who create space for small talk will benefit from increased collaboration, creativity, and more inclusiveness. The author's work. This applies to in-person meetings as well as virtual meetings. It's about building a positive culture, let's say. We know how awkward it is when we walk into a room and someone ignores us. People need to be creative and acknowledge it. It is no different on a Zoom call in our current remote working culture. It's a social lubricant. To facilitate small talk, managers should allow time before a meeting begins or employees to get comfortable and shoot the breeze. Give them time to breathe each other and have relaxed interaction. Don't dive right in. Raise the wheels, method said. Because small talk builds trust and connections, it also can lead to creative ideas and foster inclusiveness. Culturally, there are differences in the content and cadence of small talk, which can create a barrier for new employees to engage with colleagues. In this age of greater awareness about diversity and inclusion, small talk can be an asset to a company. It can be a road to more inclusion by helping socialize and embed employees into the organizational culture. Don't underestimate its value, let us say. And then the conclusion will be reading by Ravena Karisa.
Okay, so the conclusion for this material, small talk in workplace is an informal type of discourse that does not cover every topic of a conversation or transaction that is indented or indented. Small talk is important because the ritual process in a small talk builds social relationship and a strength to manage the interpersonal distinct. In a work situation, small talk tends to occur mostly among workers of the same rank. The balance between function conversational and small talk in the workplace depends on the context. And it's also influenced by the relative strengths of the two speakers. Small talk in the workplace is closely related to people needs to keep a positive voice in order to feel accepted by those who are listening is them. This streamlines social interaction in a very flexible way. Although the desired function very often depends on the points of conversation at which small talk take place. Okay, so that's all for us, and I hope that this video can give you insight about small talk in workplace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.